you always. Hey, Summer.
Hey, JaJuan, I'm so glad you're on time.
You know how I get down. Don't play.
Yeah, I know. I know.
What's up? How are you?
And you know what? I woke up a little under the weather today, but I'm trying to shake back because, I got a lot of things going on this week. So we're going to make it work. How are you?
I'm doing well. This was like probably the thing I was looking most forward to today.
Were
Uh,
you?
yeah, to be honest, it's always a pleasure, chatting with you, and you know, um, you're never too far away, um, which is always a blessing. But yeah, I guess we could kick things off by telling me who you are, where you're from, and what you do.
Okay. Is this lighting okay? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it looks pretty official. I mean, I
Okay.
knew. Yeah.
Sure. You know who I am, Javon. Summer Hill. I'm originally from St. Louis, Missouri, but I live in DC. And I am the senior social media associate in PR. I'm an adjunct professor at Howard University, and I also have my own production company and show called It's Summertime.
Wow, wow. That was a mouthful for sure.
Busy girl, I
Yeah,
know.
that's busy, busy. I'm just honored that you were able to allocate some time for me in your busy schedule.
Of
So, um,
course, Javon.
yeah. So to my knowledge, this prospect of you being an adjunct professor is a brand new endeavor for you, right? So I guess how has teaching at the Howard University been for you so
You know
far?
what? I really love because I went to Howard. So like being back on that campus and in those classrooms, it just gives me this energy that I was missing. Like I missed being on like HBCU campus and like just being surrounded by that energy. Like I don't really know how to explain that energy, but it's like if you went to Howard or you went to an HBCU, you get what I mean. So it was really important for me to be able to give back to that university, but also it's a lot of work. Like I didn't know it was going to be this much work. Like I have to do, my lesson planning before the classroom and then I have to like brush up on things cuz I don't remember everything that I'm teaching. And then it's the actual class, which is a lot of work cuz I have 65 students. So,
Mm-mm.
and you know me, like everyone has to be engaged, everyone has to be communicating and just present and a part of the conversation. And then the post classroom work is like, grading and keeping in touch with your students and figuring out what you're going to do for next week. So it's a lot of work, but I really do like being back at Howard.
Wow, wow, that is amazing. Honestly, what a full circle moment, right?
Full circle, it is.
Being a student who graduated when in 2019, I believe.
Yeah, it's 2019.
Yeah, and so fast forward to almost 2025, and you're like a professor. Like
Five
that is insane.
years later.
Yes, and you said 65 students. So is it like a seminar course or something, or is it like multiple courses, like with like
No, it,
65 total?
no. It's digital media literacy. We meet once a week, and there's 65 students in my classroom.
Yo, that is
It
insane.
is
That is
insane. And this is my first time like teaching at this level, so it's like
hmm. So what?
sheesh.
So what? It hasn't even been what, like so today is October 1st, right? So has it been like a month or is it?
Yeah, I started in August, end of August. So a little bit over a month, but we only meet once a week, so we've really only met like what, 5 or 6 times.
Mm-hmm. Got you. Okay, okay. Well, I guess in what ways have you seen your students evolving, throughout
Um,
the course of the semester or, the month that you've engaged with them? Is there like a greater sense of comfortability that you have seeing them and them seeing you? Like, how do they embrace you? Because
Yeah,
look, I mean, you are very young still,
right.
so I know that in their minds they're like, "Yo, how is she teaching this class for real?"
Right. No, it's funny because like when like there's students that weren't in there from the very first day. So like I'll be sitting at the front and they won't come speak to me, and then I'll get the class started and they'll be like, "Oh wait, you're the teacher?" Yeah, hello. So
Yeah.
it's funny like just seeing their reactions to seeing me as the professor. But they have evolved. I mean, honestly, I have my students are very, very smart. Like I'm teaching them digital media, which is something that they're already pretty much well versed in, having grown up, using digital media their whole lives. So really I learn a lot from them. But the way I have structured my class, like you know me, like 90% of the grade is engagement, like participating, showing up and participating. So it's just interesting seeing those who, don't really like to speak out loud and, want to stay in the back and stay quiet, like just watching them come to life through these conversations. And I try to pay attention to like what gets them going, like what they like to talk about, what engages them, and it's actually music. So we talk a lot about music, which is really fun because I like music.
Got you. Do they have any like particular favorites? You know, like the Ice Spices, the Cash Veins, like, I don't know. I don't know what these kids is listening to nowadays.
I
So
know. I don't either is the hard part. Like we talk a lot about like, how right now we're in an age of like TikTok music, right? So like if you go viral on TikTok and you blow up on TikTok, then you're the next Ice Spice or Sexy Bread. But hearing what they're saying, they like more of the traditional music, like the people who actually think about their lyrics and stuff. But we talk about a lot of it, like how like the topic of music these days, which we've concluded is a lot of drugs and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't know who their favorites are right now, but we did just go viral on TikTok for asking Lil Wayne to come to homecoming. So we're keeping our fingers crossed.
oh wow, you're gonna have to send me the link to that. I
I
gotta see what's
will.
popping with it.
I will. I told them if they go viral, there will be no midterm, and they went viral.
Oh wow, that's different. That's different. Well, shoot, hopefully Wayne pull up.
I
I
know.
know homecoming is like what, like a week away or something? Like real soon. So
It's like 3 weeks, yeah, but we coming up on it.
okay, cool, cool. Shout out to Howard. Shout out to Howard Homecoming. Um, so I guess you mentioned your other endeavor, which is also relatively new, and it's like a newer juncture for you since we last spoke, or since I last highlighted you on the Black Journalist Collective. So of course it's summertime, right? Your digital series that
Mhm.
you put your heart and soul into, that you produce on a weekly basis. So I guess, tell me the motivation behind cultivating summertime. And I guess also I want to know what's like your criteria for determining guests as well, because you have a robust, very eclectic selection that you
Yeah.
like to bring to the forefront. So,
Yeah, I mean, well, let me answer that first. So I really just look for good storytellers, like people who can tell and who have a good story. But what it is seeming like my most of my guests are influencers. So I'm like, is this my lane? But I made it like it was important for me to not be boxed in. Like everyone's like, so what's the like theme? And I'm like, there isn't one because you wouldn't ask Oprah what's her theme. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to put me in a box of like, you only can talk about this or you only can talk about that. Like, no, I want to talk about everything. I want to talk about whatever sparks my interest and will spark y'all's interest too. So I
mm,
talk to everybody. Like they're not all from the same background. They all have very different experiences. But yes, I do talk to a lot of influencers, which is pretty cool because it's like that's a new like job in today's society. So
mm, mm, mm.
and then I think we see a lot of like the highlights of being an influencer, but on my show we talk about like, some of the harder parts about being an influencer and like how their lives have changed. So it's pretty cool. And then to answer your first question was you asked?
Oh, I guess what was the motivation behind cultivating summertime, which is your own independent enterprise imprint. The list goes on. I mean, for me, I've known that this has been a desirable part. of your journey for a long time. I mean, ever since I've known you, you know, independence has always been your thing. You know,
True.
independence, you know, complete autonomy, you know, and almost anti-establishment sometimes. Uh, you know,
True.
I you like look, we just, I'm just keeping it a buck.
Nah,
Ain't
you
nothing wrong with
right.
that. Ain't nothing
You
wrong with that.
right.
Um,
Yeah, no, that was for me the reason that I started Summertime because like initially in my head, right, I'm like, okay, let me work for a company that will give me my show. And I have placed myself specifically and strategically at these different companies that could give me a show, and none of them gave me one. And I think that was really a blessing in disguise because, like you said, I am anti-establishment and like anti, you know, rules and having people tell me what to do and how to do it. And I was like, okay, well, the only way that I'm going to be able to do my show the way I want to do my show is if I produce my own show. So I was just sitting there one day, and me and you worked together in 2019, and I had been talking about this. And I talked to everyone about starting my own show, whatever. And it got to the point where I'm like, you know what? People probably don't even believe me anymore. Like, people probably like, yeah, whatever. Here she go again. Like, more talk about starting her own show, whatever. So
mm-mm,
I decided like I actually need to take action and do it. And so one day I just got the motivation, put everything in line and got started. And what I've noticed is that like there's just a different respect that people have for you when you're not just talking about it anymore, but when you're actually doing it.
mm-mm. No, I totally agree. I totally agree. And I just feel like it's such a inspiration to like, you know, see the journey from beginning to like where you are today, and you know, bringing these ideas into like real life fruition, manifesting them in real time. You know, you've always been a go-getter somewhere, so you know that's always been an integral part of your identity. So
Thank you, JaJuan. Thank you. Yeah, it's funny. Like I'll look back and be like, what am I doing? Like, I cannot believe it's been a little bit over a year and I can look at like my journey. Like, I even can look and see how I've gotten better, like at being in front of the camera, at researching and coming up with questions and it's just a different respect now.
mm, mm. Nah, it is, it is. Well, we
Thanks.
definitely gonna be tuned in for summertime.
Yeah, you better watch it. You
Yes,
have
yes,
you
summer.
watched the episode?
I've
Which
watched like
one?
I've watched your snippets, the snippets that you
Juwan, you
be.
have to watch the whole thing.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna tap.
Just play it in the background because here's my thing. Like, I'm trying to get to a certain amount of watch hours so YouTube can start cutting me that check.
Okay, I got you. I got you. I did see that one of your videos was like in the thousands. The one with Miss Strip.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's at like 9,000 now.
yeah. I peeped, and I was like, okay, okay, we doing numbers. I see
Yeah,
it.
we making some progress. Yeah, no, it was hard to break out of like hundreds. And then once I did, I was like, oh. So then we broke out of like thousand. So we're gonna just keep going. We're gonna just keep going.
Amazing
I got to give the people what they want, though. That's when I noticed, like, people have been begging me to interview her. So I finally did. And I'm like, oh, I just got to give y'all what y'all want. Okay.
feed feed the demand for sure.
Exactly.
So as we know, Culture is coming up this weekend. To my knowledge, you're gonna be there. You were there last year. It was a glorious time, per usual. So, what are your thoughts on CultureCon as a whole? And I guess what are you looking forward to most from this year?
Yeah. Well, I love Imani, and I know you do too. Like, she was in the page program just like us. So there's a collective understanding there already. And I have, talked with and had plenty meetings with Imani. And I just really value the hard work that she has put into CultureCon. Like, starting as just a conversation in her living room and inviting people. And then it just expanded to what it is now, which is a huge conference. Last year, Issa Rae was there, Tiana Taylor. So I think it's incredible. Like, I would love to do something like that. Have a space for Black creatives to be inspired, to meet new people, to get their fits off. I'm looking forward to seeing the fits like that. Every year I am so impressed. Like,
Yeah,
the creativity is crazy.
yeah.
And I'm looking forward to meeting different people. Like, I'll be out there chit chatting. So I just want to talk to people and see how we can, I like to network across. So see how we can benefit each other on this journey.
Mm-mm. Nah, I feel you. Lateral, that's what they call it, lateral networking, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
so there's definitely some benefit in that. And yeah, I mean, CultureCon is an amazing entity. Like you said, we definitely have some synchronicity with Imani. And that's just an honor to be able to just follow in her footsteps in any capacity,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Uh, to even have like some degree of proximity to her,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like, and I honestly feel like she's the blueprint for any, Black creative trying to make it to that next level.
Yeah.
Be amazing.
It is. And
I'm
she even like she will have a meeting with you. Like, I have reached out to her like, hey, can we chit chat? And she was like, yeah. And we talked and she gave me some really good advice. She gave me some really good books to read and everything. So like I really appreciate just my connection with her.
Yeah, yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, she's super down to earth. I remember last year
Yes.
I had like a whole sit down conversation with her, just reflecting on the journey, catching her up.
Yeah. And she's busy. So it's like just the fact that you even did this is just really appreciated.
Yeah, I agree. I think a lot of people in her position need to take notes because I feel like she kind of carries herself with like this elegance and grace and humility
Mm-hmm.
that is like second to none, for real.
Agreed, agreed. And I see like, I work with a lot of people, right? So like she is my preferred person to work with. Like, I work with people whose egos, I'm like, baby, you don't have to be here. Like, we don't have to do this.
Yeah.
But Imani said next time she comes or when she comes to DC, she'll sit down on an episode with me. So keep your fingers crossed because I would love that. Thanks.
Cross the fingers. Yeah, that's gonna be amazing.
Mhm.
We gonna manage that. But yeah, I'm
Yeah.
I'm excited too. I'm excited. I would say I believe that there's been a progression in terms of like just how I operate in that environment. I mean, the panels are cool, but I just feel like the networking is like the most enticing part of the whole experience, because you have so many different creatives and you have so many different brilliant minds at your fingertips. And yeah, it's super dope. It's just super dope to connect and synergize. And then it's like every year builds on itself, right? So
Mhm.
like you'll go the first year and you'll meet some new people.
Mhm.
You may not establish a hard connection with them, but then the next year you'll see them again and you'll be like, oh, okay, what's good? Like, and then you're able to build from that, and it turns into like them transferring from being in the cold network to the warm network.
Exactly.
And then eventually, you talk to enough people, you look around, you have like this robust network of people. And yeah, shout out to Culture Kind.
Shout out to Culture Con.
Yeah, we're gonna be there this weekend, bright and early. If you see us, say hello, show love.
I
Not
sure do have to be there bright and early. I got to be there for the first panel on Saturday
okay, okay. Are you working the event this year or?
with for NPR.
Okay,
But
okay.
I did win this shoot your shot competition for CultureCon, so I got to submit a video of like who I am and what I do, and they're gonna play it on the screen. So like I remember last year I was like, I'm gonna be on this stage one way or another, and I guess I wasn't specific enough because this is how I'm gonna be on the stage, but I'm okay with it because progress. And
Progress,
next
progress.
year, I'm going to be moderating a conversation or being interviewed.
Mm-hmm. Yes. I could definitely see that. That's written in the stars for sure.
Written.
Mm-hmm. So you've been in media for quite some time now. This landscape is ever shifting. There's been so many different critical changes in the landscape. So, how would you say it's like shifted, from your origins to like even today?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Media has always evolved, right? From forever, from when it started. And I just did a class on the evolution of media last week. So it was just interesting to see, right? But I guess growing up, like I didn't really see a lane for myself in media because I've always wanted my own show, but that seemed just so far-fetched. And then like I didn't want to be a reporter because I think, obviously it's incredibly important. I got the news on right now watching Iran and Israel, but I was like, that's a little bit too depressing. Like I can't eat, breathe, sleep that every single day. So I guess just the evolution has looked like from news to like influencers. Like now we have community journalism. Now we have people like this right here. Like we're not representing a specific corporation. You are representing Black Journalist Collective, right? And
Mm-mm.
I am representing it's summertime. So the fact that we have our own um platforms and spaces, I think that proves the evolution. Like we are now in control of the content that we create and that others consume. So we ultimately like made it on the other side of media, but it's going to keep going. Like I don't know what the future of media will look like.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's in constant evolution. Um, I think that when it's all said and done, I believe that we'll be on the right side of history. Um, and yeah, I'm really excited. I'm really excited to, just keep the journey going. I believe that there are certain natural processes that have taken place just by virtue of being in the space for so long, and then you just get kind of gain your bearings, kind of have a greater understanding of how to operate in the space. So
Hmm.
it's just super dope. But I know that you mentioned, working a lot lately, right? You have summertime, you have adjunct professor duties at Howard University. You have your whole senior media associate, right? Senior social media associate at NPR. So I guess what is it? A buzz concept that is like really popular nowadays is self care, right? So I guess I'm curious to know what are like some methods that you indulge self care.
Oh, know I am the self-care queen. Like everybody knows that. Everybody knows that because I don't play. Like I always say, you cannot pour from an empty cup. So I make sure my cup is full every chance I get. And some of the things that fill my cup, like I love taking baths. I love it. I love home cooked meals. I don't love cooking, but if somebody cooks me one, that fills my cup. Being around my friends and my family, especially my family, like I made a list of like people who fill me up and people who drain me. And the people who drain me, I don't hang out with them anymore
Mm,
because you don't fill me up. And I'm at a space in my life where it is incredibly important for me to only be around people who fill my cup because of how limited my time is and how busy I am. I have to be intentional about who I'm around and what I do. Um, I like to work out. I go to solid core every day, pretty much. Okay, not every day, like 4 times a week. I like to be out in nature. I love traveling. Traveling really fills my cup. Um, yeah, I make sure that my cup, there are times where I don't have the luxury of like sitting down and being really intentional about a whole self-care day, but I make sure to give myself those moments. Like I go and get a massage or something like that. I build it into my schedule because y'all not about to run me to the ground.
yeah, yeah. No, I feel that. Yeah, self care is very important. It is very important, and I feel like oftentimes with corporations, like if you don't designate that time for your self care, they're going to drain you.
Hello.
They're going to eat you
Somebody
up.
said, Audie Cornish said, if you work like a dog, they'll treat you like one. So I work like a princess.
Wow, that is super quotable.
Mhm.
We got to get that on for
So
sure.
funny.
So, uh, as we know, you've been at NPR for a few years now. I can't believe it's been such an extensive journey. But I guess what would you say is like your favorite part about working at NPR? One, and then two, I know that you have access to the popular NPR Tiny Desk concert, right? So I'm curious to know, like, what would you say is like your favorite performance out of all of the ones that you've seen, you know?
That's my favorite part, Tiny Desk. Like I love because I like live music, but I don't like concerts because I don't like crowds.
Mm-mm.
So Tiny Desk gives me that intimate vibe, that live music, you know, phenomenal artists. People I actually want to hear, right? And we're this close, you know what I'm saying? So I think it's so cool that I have been able to be in close proximity with a lot of my favorite artists. I'll say like Juvenile was definitely top three for me. We had so much fun. Like after the Tiny Desk, I went with them to Howard Theater and I was on stage with them and I was like, why am I on stage with Juvenile and Manny Fresh backing that ass up? Like I would have never thought, but it was so fun. Maxwell, oh my gosh, I grew up listening to Maxwell. So like being able to see him and hear him and like he sounds so good. And then I even told him, I'm like, I just want you to know I grew up listening to you. Like this is crazy, like full circle.
Mm.
And he really appreciated that.
Yeah.
Um and like how some about egos, like a lot of these artists come in here and they are so sweet and down to earth. Like Post Malone was so nice, like just humble. So it's been really cool to interact and engage with a lot of these people.
Mm-mm. That's so dope. I mean, I would imagine it's like so cool to come to work and have like direct access to that, and be able to just engage in it fully, wholeheartedly, and meet all these like artists that we've kind of grown up with and have had personal experiences with, and yeah, that's so
And
dope.
then
That is so cool.
see it live, like, and then like sometimes they'll bring their family, or it's just like, wow, I'm seeing you as a person and not as like this icon that you have been in my head growing up seeing you, like I really like seeing the
Like
old school
avatar,
ones, like
like
what'd you
an
say?
like not like an avatar, right? Like.
Yeah, like I can see you here with your like Scarface brought his son, and then after the Tiny Desk was over, his son like got his guitar and like did a song. So it was just really cool. But
Mm-mm.
shout out to Bobby Carter. He's from St. Louis as well. He is the producer of Tiny Desk, and yeah, he's made it really cool.
Yeah, shout out to Bobby Carr. If y'all wondering, who's behind all those dope acts, yeah,
Bobby Carter. He
Bobby
will actually be
Carr,
at CultureCon. He's doing the first panel of the day on Saturday, so y'all should go check that out too.
the first panel of the day. Wow. Okay, is he's on the panel?
He's on the panel, 10 a.m.
Okay, dope, dope. All right, I'm gonna make sure I get there bright and
No,
early.
you're not.
Turn on my alarm clock and all that. Um, wow, wow. Now, I guess I don't want to like dwell on this too much, but you mentioned Maxwell, right? So I recently learned like there's like this dissonance between, or at least I'm under the impression that there's this dissonance between how he sounds when he sings versus how he talks. Is this true?
No,
He
I
sounds
don't think so. Like, I wasn't shocked by his voice. I can't distinctively remember what he sounded like, but we sat and chit chatted, and I wasn't like, "Oh God, you sound like that." So no, I
okay,
wouldn't say at all.
okay. And I have one more question about that. Were you there when Willow performed?
I was there when Willow performed.
Okay, how was that?
Oh, shit. You know what? I was impressed. I was like, dang, I didn't know you were an artist like that. Like, she can sing and she has really developed her. just her like her artistry, like she knows how to like engage the crowd and get people going and tap into different parts of herself. So that was a really good one.
Mm-mm. That's super dope. And then who else? It was somebody else I was thinking about. Oh, Ryan Leslie. Were you there for Ryan
I don't
Leslie's one too?
I don't think so, but I met Ryan Leslie at Broccoli City. But you know who I missed, who I will regret for the rest of my life?
Who, Big
Shaka
Sean?
Khan.
Shaka Khan. Shaka Khan. That was a good one. That was a good.
That really upsets me. But I always say like if I miss him, I'm like, it's fine, I'll see you again. I always think in my head, I'll see you again. It's okay.
Yeah, I heard some interesting things about Shaka Khan, but legend nonetheless.
She's
You
like,
know,
yeah,
got,
yeah, she's an artist.
yeah, she is. Got to give her. I didn't know she had that many hits. Like when I was watching it, I was like, wow, like
Yeah,
she got
that's how
hits for.
I felt about Charlie Wilson. I'm like, wait a minute, Charlie, I didn't know all of this was you.
Oh, Computer Love. You know
Yeah,
he's
I did not know he was on Computer Love.
Computer Love, classic,
I had
classic. He got.
no idea.
Yeah, he was the guy singing. I don't know why he didn't get no credit.
I don't either. I had no idea.
Yeah, that's actually crazy.
Yeah,
But shout out to Uncle Charlie.
yeah. He
Um,
was very nice too.
yeah, yeah, I heard about him too. Um, real sweet guy. But I guess what impact do you hope Summer Time will have on the community, um, and the audience that you cater to?
Yeah, I guess overall, it's important for me to. I want people to like. I've always said this. Like, I want people to watch and feel fulfilled. Like, we'll tune in to Club Shay Shay or like The Breakfast Club or like those type of podcasts because we want some entertainment. Like, we want to laugh. Like, we want some tea. But I want people to watch Summertime and be like, dang. I kind of just got something from that. Like, I feel motivated or I feel inspired or I just learned something new or I want them to feel like their cup is full from watching an episode. I just got done interviewing 2 days ago. His name is Halim Flowers, and he was incarcerated for 22 years, wrongfully, that he was not there and they thought he was. Locked him up at 16 years old, charged him as an adult. He went to the federal prison.
Mm,
And this is probably my new favorite episode. I'm very excited to drop it, but I got so much wisdom from that episode. Like I guide the conversation and like I let people talk for like a minute or like a minute and a half and then I'll kind of cut them off because people don't want to listen to people ramble. But like I was sitting there like this, like just listening to him as he talked for probably like 6 minute answers because I was so engaged and intrigued and what he was saying was so necessary. So yeah, I want people to feel like that when they watch.
dope, dope, dope. Well, yeah, that sounds very compelling. That sounds very on brand too. Um,
Hmm.
just based off of what I know and about you as a person. And the way you just described it, I'm really interested in learning more about that
I
too.
think you will like it. He's an artist now. I think you will really like that episode. Like he's worked with Kim Kardashian to help people, prison reform and stuff. So it's going to be a good episode. Like it's not, he's not like a flashy guy. He's not one of these influencers, but the wisdom, I'm telling you, I was like, oh, I'm about to send this to everybody as soon as it drops. There
Mm,
were so many people I was thinking of while he was talking, like, ooh, they'd like this. And so I'm going to send it around.
got you, got you. All right, bet. Well, I'm definitely gonna tap in. Let me know when it drops. When
You
is it?
better the whole thing. That one's gonna come out in November.
November. Oh, damn. Okay.
We got some time.
All right. Well, I'm gonna sit still and
Well, we
you know,
got some drops in the meantime, so check those out to keep you satisfied, and then that'll come out in November.
I I need an appetizer for
Hmm.
sure. Uh, so with everything you have going on, I just feel like this is a well-oiled machine that is kind of moving in a fruitful direction. Where do you see Summer Hill, 5 years from now? Because what I met you what damn near 5 years ago now.
5 years ago.
So
Yep.
yeah, so I guess if we add a few more years to the journey, you're already in progress. You're already in progress. Moving in the direction, in the desired direction. So, where do you see, like, what is like your most ultimate hope for everything you have going on and
Five
just
years
summertime?
from now or period?
Uh, well, I mean, yeah, period. Let's do period.
Okay, period.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, first, I want to buy my parents a house. I want to send my niece to college if she chooses to go, and my nephews as well if they choose to go. But I want to have, you know, generational money for them. I would like to have a family myself, so I'd like to be married and have kids. But ultimately, like with business wise, I want my passions to make money, and I want to have multiple projects going on that really fulfill me. So festivals like Culture Con or conferences, festivals. I want my show still, but that can look different. So I have Summertime Productions, so I want other shows and other artists to be under Summertime Productions, and um, I really just want to help people expand their reach. And, I believe a lot in art, and I believe that art can be your career. So I want to see a lot of more people using art as their career. I want to work with and partner with, like, some of my favorite brands and continue to grow, and learn and be an empathetic and compassionate person for people to come to. I think one of my favorite things about Summertime is that, like, in order for people to share these stories with me, right, you must have some type of trust that I'm going to take your story and treat it with respect and with dignity and be able to share it with the world. You're telling me stuff that I can share with the world. So I truly honor that, and I'd like to continue doing that, but on a bigger level.
Mm, dope, dope. That is so amazing.
Thanks,
S-
JaJuan.
Such phenomenal vision. Um, you know, and it's gonna come into fruition. Like, y'all heard it here first.
Yep.
Um, Summer Hill on the record. Uh, but yes, thank you so much, Summer, for taking the time out to speak with me. Just going back to the concept of having your cup filled. I believe every time we talk, my cup is filled.
Oh, good. Good, 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 good. I like that. I like that. Well, before we go, I want to shout out a few people I saw in the chat. My sister Courtney is in here. Jalen. I saw Fresh Ant. I saw Johan Naj. So thanks, Stephen Miller. Thanks you all for tuning in. It really means a lot that you all sit and chat with me on this fine Tuesday afternoon.
Yes,
I saw
indeed.
Avery, Javier. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Thank you for all my people that hopped on the chat as well. Uh, Before we hop off, I would love for you to promo, everything you have going on. All of the entities that you work with, all of the entities that you own, you know, all of that good stuff. So
Yeah. So, you all see my Instagram name right here, Summer FH. Um, I drop every Wednesday a new episode of Summertime. So tomorrow we are going to drop with Marcus from Great Energy Group. He hosts Liddy in the City. So I'm excited to do that. So be sure to tune in. Subscribe to my YouTube at It's Summertime. If you want to follow the work that I do for NPR, the account is NPR Extra on all platforms. And subscribe to my newsletter as well because I provide monthly updates of what we're talking about in the classroom.
yes, 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 yes. And for all y'all that don't know me, my name is JaJuan Malachi. I am a culture journalist, but I'm also the CEO and founder of the Black Journalist Collective. So y'all can go ahead and follow me on my personal account, at JaJuan Malachi, JaJuan Malachi. And for my page, the Black Journalist Collective, it'll be at the THEBLK as in Black, and journalist. And thank y'all again for tuning in. Thank you, Summer, for your time.
Thank
And
you, Juwan. I'm glad we got to talk again.
yes, indeed. Yes, I will see you this weekend.
Yeah, see you this weekend. Hit me so we can do something.
Okay, amazing. Yes, we're going to turn up. Positive vibes, good energy always.
Yeah.
Yep, yep. And like I said, if anybody on the chat is going to be out there, show love. Show
Yeah,
love.
let us know.
Hit us up. Hit us up.
All right, Juwan, have a good rest of your
All
night.
right, likewise, Summer. Later.
Bye.
G always.